feels a little bit surreal at the moment.
Well, it's a pinch me moment for Mr. Simon.
Oh, no. So what do Urban Automotive do? Urban are a luxury vehicle modifier, and we supply parts globally to tuning shops around the world. So the list of vehicles that Urban modify, it started off with Defenders many years ago, and now the list is pretty much every luxury vehicle on the road.
So I suppose we're best known for Land Rover product, that's where we started. But in the last few years, we've obviously taken on brands like Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Mercedes, Audi, VW, becoming a vast range. So we modify cars for some of the biggest names in the UK, but also for people who are just into cars and into the brand.
So we've just returned from what is deemed to be the biggest show in the world, which is the SEMA show. We've attended the SEMA show every year for probably the last 8 years, but this year has to go down as probably the best experience I've had personally since I founded Urban 10 years ago.
From looking around SEMA, I think we had something different on our stand. Like I say, there's a lot of lifted trucks, a lot of American muscle. So seeing 2 British cars with British body kits, British made carbon fibre, I think the Americans thought it was pretty cool. So LA would be a huge test for Urban to see whether we can cut it alongside the big competitors that we have.
I guess the perception from the UK is that there's, you know, the 2 biggest car markets in the US from an influential perspective is, I would imagine, LA and Miami. Individuality is embraced in LA, you know, so for us to put our stamp on the US map and the epicenter being in Los Angeles, that for me is where it's at. We've been working with Platinum for probably 2.5 years now, and this visit, God, gives me goosebumps to think about it, because I'm going to be eternally grateful, because I know that I'll look back on this moment and say, that was the moment.
About $1 million, I keep it a trend, resilient, they energy off. My image is got reaching deep in the pot, I got features of people I lost. Yeah, R.I.P. on me, TT. The melanin on me, my cheekbone is native, the soil is my where I walk.
So, SEMA 2023 done. We've got the cars out the centre, just queuing to get out now. Apparently there's like a big cruise going on through Vegas and now off to LA.
My frequency killer, you soft. I show people love, they act like they above it, but switch when they see me, I'm lost. I tell the truth when I talk. This wanna be me. I used to sleep in the car till my girl when it crashes in car. Now I got a crib down the street. Young niggas made it so far. How you wanna play games when I won? Ayy, I play with cash for the fun. Women looking at me, she think I'm leading her on.
So after Vegas, we went to go and see Jack and George of Platinum Motorsport in LA. I was really looking forward to meeting these boys. I've followed them for a good sort of 6-7 years on my own social media. They're big in the game out there. I'll probably say they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the US, not just LA, for car modifications.
So George was kind of like keeping things a secret. He just said, I have an agenda for you. Don't worry, I've got an itinerary set. And I'm like, what are we doing?
So we have landed in LA. We've got big wheel. Right.
I didn't even think we were starting. Hey!
So we are in, where are we at the moment? Is this Beverly Hills still?
We're on Wilshire Boulevard.
And we're going to go and meet Jack and George from the Platinum Group, and we're going to talk about how successful SEMA was and how much of an amazing trip we are having. That's right, isn't it, Si?
That is right, yeah. That's if I get us there in one piece, you know what it's like.
Fingers crossed.
We went to collect our hire car and we were just given a location. I'm like, oh God, what are we doing? So we arrived at the restaurant. It wasn't just the Range Rover, it wasn't just the Ghost, but Scott Disick had sent his Cullinan down to make the trio.
Well, it's a pinch me moment, Mr. Simon.
It feels a little bit surreal at the moment, seeing obviously both the cars turn up. They went and collected Scott's car. He rang them and said, look, borrow my car, you want to see all three together. We've just done a fantastic photo shoot, and the edit will probably be just played or coming soon.
So Jack and George and the rest of the Platinum team showed us some incredible hospitality. Took us for a nice Italian. We sat down, we broke bread, we chewed the fat, and yeah, I think this was the first time that we realised that we were such a good pairing. You know, the UK and the US, great team together.
You're the worst to me, 'cause I can tell you were thirsty to be. Look how the stars got your
Just as we think it can't get any better, the Platinum boys rock up with a whole convoy of incredible modified cars.
Block the entrance.
Have you guys had some coffee?
Yeah. Ready for more, though. Yeah, ready for more. Ready for more.
Because that wasn't the rubbish.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. We'll go. We're at a coffee spot. I haven't had coffee yet. I'd love to grab coffee and we can figure out what we're doing.
We want to tick the Rodeo Drive. We want to tick the Malibu box. We want to tick the palm trees in the streets, and they delivered on every count. It was one thing seeing the cars in the car park, but that was nothing. When we saw them rolling, oh my God.
It was absolutely incredible. Sort of realised there and then that we're not just here to take part, we're here to take over. on a stand at SEMA was cool. Seeing them rolling down the streets in LA with other just normal cars, it just showed how special our cars are and how they don't blend in, how they stand out. So cool. I'm rarely a passenger in the UK. I like driving everywhere, but I was quite happy to sit back and just see the view and watching people's reactions as this incredible convoy rolls past. So after some fairly spirited driving with the SLR driving, leaving some 11s through Beverly Hills, we did the tourist thing. First time in LA, I had to go and see the Hollywood sign.
We're up to, well, we're just going to go and do the tourist thing and try and find the Hollywood sign. I think.
Just so straight to the point. It's like, what else to say? Yeah, we're doing the tourist. Wrong coast, but who?
At least I'm trying.
No, like that, but it's a little bit darker than that.
It'd be like a packet of tobacco stuck to your face, wouldn't it?
It just takes one comment like that, right, and I'll just keep Just for Men in it. It's there. Oh, right, it's funny. Yeah, this is what I mean. Look, this is gonna be the.
I don't want a photo. I might just have one. So I think the preconception of Platinum is that they're a shop on Melrose Avenue, which isn't the case. The organisation is a much bigger outfit, and we was lucky enough to get the entire tour of the entire business. We started by going down to Studio City, which is where their chauffeur and rental business is housed, and we're talking Mercedes Sprinter after Sprinter after Sprinter, Escalade after Escalade. The sheer volume of their chauffeur-driven fleet for Justin Biebers of this world and sports personalities. Every car is always booked out.
If you take a peek inside this one, you'll see it's a whole, more of like a corporate, like an executive office type of setting, pretty much. Just really nice. They're all configured differently, different colors, different seating, different styles. Really cool. Just for conversation's sake, to see a different spec this year is, for instance, is a more like, lighter spec. So we have it all depending on, you'll notice like the style is very similar to the teak stripe wood that comes in a Maybach. Seating style is similar to a Maybach. So just different specs, different seating options and capabilities.
Some of their wagons are unbelievable. They've got a coach there that's got like a separate bedroom, like style like roof lining, big lazy boy seats. We get that in the UK to a certain extent, but not to this level. That was so cool.
And at the chauffeur space, obviously there is showroom space as well. And George gave me a little nudge and teased me with a Platinum sign and an Urban sign. So who knows, watch this space. Maybe that will be our showroom space in LA.
So we kind of got lucky with the space. When we took over the property, it came with the showroom, but we've not yet done anything in terms of Platinum, like in terms of the custom cars, but we're thinking to potentially do a satellite here in the Valley. I feel like we have the right clientele here to do it, but it's a great space inside. Beside this SUV, there's at least an easy 6-car.
Or some like customer parking or something like that. Yeah.
Probably this will probably be this can be glassed out too,
Yeah, because you've got the pillars, haven't you?
The pillars are there. So it has a lot of potential for sure. Like these are obviously just some personal toys we don't have the space for, and they're crammed in here, but this is not it's not necessarily what obviously Platinum is.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, like those bays there, like could easily, 4 bays to build cars.
Then we followed on to the repair centre where we met almost like the godfather of modification.
We met their father, and as soon as he walked into the room, he had an aura of power about him. Both Jack and George stepped back and they let him talk.
I've never seen you take that quick. Whoa!
Last thing has to do with the boat, and our boat talk itself. We don't talk. You know? We don't talk. The boat talk itself.
I was actually astounded at, you know, the fact that he still comes to work every day. He still gets his hands dirty. He showed us his hands being dirty.
So we told the boys all about your history, obviously, and what you've done.
You're still on the tools? Are you still working on
I do. All day long. Because I can't just look at them. Just it's something wrong. I have to just put my head there.
He's like the get out of the way, give me the tool guy. He does it himself. But the real passion comes from Pops.
I'm only 27 now.
Yeah, no. So we went to their modification shop on Melrose, which is probably what I've seen most from their social media. I think this is their most sort of famous site.
Man, I'm kicking my feet up, get frank like Aretha. I'm calm, but I'm teed up, just flip me a stack. The re-up just doubled up off of the muscle, I stuck to the task. They see me, I'm troubled, I'm bubbling up till it's stuck, and they want me to stay where I'm at.
So from a build perspective, the Melrose shop isn't too dissimilar to the UK. They have paint booths, they have ramps, and they have, you know, skilled technicians working on the cars that they build for customers.
So this is the picture that made me start following the Platinum Boys. It's Jack coming out of one of the shops. But how cool is that? And that was about 6 or 7 years ago. So cool.
Did George tell you that we just did this?
Yes.
With it. Got the bands jumping out the bag, Prosecco on ice. I'm nobody nice. Gonna run up a check. Demand my respect. I'm doing the most. I never quit.
Quite like the look of the Mercedes EQS. But then everything looks cooler out here. Everything just looks cooler out here. No front plates.
Some guys don't want to go that low.
Yeah.
But we typically want to go low.
Course,
so
yeah.
if we know, like if you're running a 23-inch wheel and you're not running it, like look, Jack on the Range Rover, we ran a 30mm spacer.
Yeah, of course.
You said you're gonna be okay with a 15 mil.
No, 20.
Or 20 mil.
Yeah.
But 20 to 30, that's another 10 mil. That's
Yeah, of
aggressive.
course, yeah.
So a lot of guys out here likes it aggressive. If they want it aggressive, then we get into modifying and chopping up more.
So the main shop in Melrose, last time I visited, George was halfway through making his almost like his design boutique, his office, a space where he can sit and speak to customers, discuss colours and, you know, just the bespoke nature of the builds that they're doing. That was finished now. It looks fantastic. You know, it's the ultimate cool office.
On the wall there was a couple of photos of Kim Kardashian wearing a platinum baseball cap, and he told us a great story about that and how she just posted that randomly and it sold out within minutes.
So Kim, she wore our hat, bro. We had sent her like a care package and it went out to her in like one of these boxes like this with like sweaters, t-shirts, hats, like a bunch of gear. But we paid no mind. We're like, all right, you know, we're sending her the merch. You know, she wears it. A month later, she's on vacation and she's rocking the hat and she posts up pictures on the beach. So people are direct messaging, like they're sending Jack messages, my is blowing up. I'm like, yeah, it's Kim Kardashian in a bikini. I wasn't catching the hat. And I looked and I zoomed in, I'm like, oh, it's our hat. Bro,
that's so cool that it's organic, though. You didn't ask us to do it.
Super organic. She didn't tag, she didn't do nothing. We just took the picture, we reposted it. Like her rocking the hat. And we put the Pushin' P song behind it. Yeah. Bro, 10 minutes, the hats were sold out. People were buying them by the dozens.
It's very silent bell, yeah, baby.
So this is a very tiny portion. We actually, at some point we got rid of a lot of it, but it's funny. If you look at some of these photos. So like, look, this is us displaying at the LA Auto Show here. I mean, so that's Kim before you guys really knew Kim. Name it, Lupe Fiasco, Chris Brown, Rob Kardashian, before you guys have seen him, like how he, you know, recently, Post Malone, David Beckham, YG. There's like an endless amount of this that we don't even know where to put. So everything you see here is pre-social media.
So the Urban brand is obviously quite powerful in the UK. And to link up with my brothers, I call them my brothers now, Platinum Group in LA, I think it's going to gain us some serious traction. Coming from quite a humble background and just being into cars from 17 years old, driving my Fiesta XR2i to Southend, to being in some of the best modified cars in the world in a convoy through Beverly Hills, that was a really, really, really big highlight for me.
So looking back on the trip now, obviously we've got back to reality, we're back home. We finished the trip really nicely with a nice debrief for the guys that travelled out there. We had lunch on Malibu Pier and just reflected on how good the trip was.
So a couple of hours till our flight, maybe another nice Mexican Coca-Cola, maybe a little glass of something for you.
Yeah.
And then back
California, rosé, lovely tacos.
Tacos.
Yeah, on that note, we'll see you back in the grey of England. It just cemented something personally, not just commercially, not just for work. It wasn't just for work anymore. The guys put blood, sweat and tears into building the cars for the show for us, and it showed. The standard was the same as us in the UK. They went through the pains that we went through from an R&D perspective. They felt what we feel every time we build a car. The trip was actually the pinnacle of my career at Urban. It is the best point so far.